Alright, hey nerds. I'm here. I'm gonna wait for a couple of you guys to get in here, and then I will start playing the pod. Let's get Spotify. Oop, hold on. Let's get Spotify up and running. Alright. Hello. If you're here, drop a comment in the chat. Let me know who you are so I can say hello.
Have you ever wished that your world had more magic?
That your favorite character had survived?
How about a
Full-length spin-off of your favorite childhood series? And we have a podcast for you.
I'm Claire.
And I'm Kat. And this is Firewhisky and Honey, a podcast about
your favorite novel-length modern fan fiction.
Oh, that one's so cool!
Each episode, we read a chapter of this story,
which is rated explicit for language and adult
situations. So listen with headphones. Or don't. We don't judge.
Without further ado, here's our recap of last week's chapter of The Dead of Time. All right, Kat, what happened in last week's chapter of The Dead of Time?
Hell yeah, I got a bat. Ah, it's a motif.
a lot of good stuff.
Kat, we're gonna need a few more details than that. It's okay. This is actually, I think, kind of becoming your signature, and everybody appreciates it. So last chapter was super exciting because it started on my birthday.
I want it.
Anyway, so it's aftermath of Bellatrix carving into her arm.
I want it.
And
Yeah, I'm gonna be
Draco
paying for the
has
fucking
just killed
premium
you.
on this one. These are all really
Exactly.
good.
Yes, chapter 9. Draco had just killed his dad, and so this is the aftermath of that. So Draco says that he was recruited by Snape to be a member of the Order of the Phoenix. Yes. And Draco's trying to assure them that he's on his side. Harry and Ron, of course, don't believe him. He takes Veritas Serum and says that his allegiance is to his mother, not to Death Eaters. He's only a Death Eater because he had to be. Hermione's obviously in a ton of pain because she had her arm carved into.
How do you...
Then Dobby,
That's new.
they all went to Shell Cottage. Draco said that he was going to try and help them get whatever it was that was in Bellatrix's vault, because Bellatrix was, super freaking out when she saw the sword, because she was like, oh my god, you were in my vault. Why were you in my vault? And so clearly something important is in her vault. She doesn't want anybody in her vault. So the assumption, of course, is that there's a Horcrux in the vault, which the books tells us there is. But anyway, so Draco says that he's going to try and get it out of the vault for them, and then all they have to do is jump him as he's coming out of Gringotts and get the Horcrux from him. And Draco assures them that when he finds out when he's going to Gringotts, he will send them a Patronus.
It's cute.
Which, what is a Patronus?
The shiny ghost looking thing.
Yes. Which is useful for both beating off Dementors. Not beating off Dementors. Beating Dementors.
You're beating off the mentor.
Oh, that visual is so... Oh, God. Oh, no. I need to stop closing my eyes if it's worse.
Oh, that they give you the kiss of death.
Oh,
and it's
Ay. Alright, rocks. That thing.
Oh, no.
and
How could you say that? It's funny.
I don't know. It was funny, but
Wait, is that- no, it's not the rocks.
Anyway, so you can also use Patronuses to send messages, as seen with Kingsley Shacklebolt sending the links early on at the wedding to warn everybody that the Death Eaters were coming, and then again when the Weasel showed up with for Arthur Weasley to tell everybody that they were okay and not to
Did
contact
you just
them.
call them weasels?
No, Weasley sent a weasel. His Arthur Weasley's Patronus is in fact
Oh, I
a
thought you
weasel.
called them the weasels. I was like, that's not their name.
That's not my.
You know, Amanda, I listening to the
Oh, no.
episodes, like sometimes I mess up names. Like there was
Oh,
something
no.
where it was supposed to be Snape, but I called him Sirius. And yeah, no, I don't know. I just
Hey, I spelled
The fact that she didn't start singing "That's Not My Name" is kind of impressive.
I keep swapping names, and I'm sorry. They should make sense if you just keep listening. It
Where
should
the
resolve
fuck are
itself.
those
If it
rocks with the
doesn't,
little
just
grass
yell at
thing?
me over your radios. God knows I yell at enough of my
Radio?
podcasts. Well, I mean, I listen to mine in the car, so it's playing over the radio. Or the car stereo system, whatever you want to call it. I'm a 90s baby, okay? I call it a radio. Get over it. I remember tapes.
I was born the same you
Anyway.
were, Muggle. I know.
So it should be right here.
I'm
So how do I
older
get
than
it?
you.
Or how
A
do I do the
couple
puzzle?
months. I'm gonna outlive you.
Anyway,
Oh,
that's
fuck.
fair. That's definitely fair. I do way dumber shit than you do. You're probably gonna outlive me by a good 30 years. But anyway, so back to the recap. So Draco assures them that he's going to
That
help them
hurt.
because he is a member of the Order. Veritaserum proves it. He sends his mother off with the gang, and Sirius says that he's going to take her to Andromeda's house.
I don't know what the fuck I'm doing.
And then when they get to Shell Cottage,
Oh,
Okay,
these rocks.
yeah. So anyway,
But where's the puzzle?
Sirius takes Narcissa to Andromeda and Remus and Tonks, and Sirius and Remus kind of get into it, and Sirius is like, "You knew, didn't you, about the scar and Bellatrix and the manor?" And Lupin was like, "Yeah, but she made me promise not to tell you." So uber confusing for those who haven't read the story before, and they're hinting at a
I
lot of
don't
stuff. heavily, but they're
understand.
not
What
sure
am I
what it
supposed to
is.
do here?
And then
Ooh.
Andromeda and Narcissa definitely like each other and realize they're both good at them, so they're good now. And then Hermione and gang are back at Shell Cottage, where they have all of the wands that they took off the Snatchers. Everybody takes the wand they're comfortable with if they can't find their original wand. And then they have a whole stack of wands that need to be destroyed, and so they have Dobby break them.
Well, bam.
And that's it.
I understand nothing of what's happening.
I think
right now.
your Dobby voice was my favorite part of last episode. My Dobby voice was horrific, but yours was fantastic, so. Also, if I sound like
I don't know what I'm
dying,
doing in
because
here.
it's freaking cold in Tennessee at the moment and super dry.
Very much
Oh,
still a
that's
thing.
lovely.
Go anywhere.
I hate you just a little bit. So,
Oh, fun fact, there's
do you
a
know what chapter
TikTok
this
couple
is?
that you can follow in Key
10.
West.
Chapter
And I did that
10.
today.
Look what we did.
Ooh.
Right? No, but for real, for those of you who are listening, we really appreciate you getting to chapter 10. This means there are only 4 chapters left in episode 1, at which point we will take a 1-week break to hopefully record a bunch of episodes for season 2, so we have
Max.
a better stack moving forward. But actually, that may end up being a 2-week break as we try to stack episodes for the following season. We will let you know closer
And
to the day.
please, somebody during our break ask us where we are so we can say we were on a break. Please do that. That'll amuse me.
What are you
Dork.
coloring? I can hear it.
I'm not coloring nothing. That's in your head. Those are the
You're
voices.
scratching something or drawing.
I am
There's
not.
something going.
The voices in your head.
Okay, good times. Without further ado,
I'm dying.
here is chapter 10. Not
I really gotta stop saying that.
I moved my mic. Without further,
Not a killer.
not a killer. Chapter 10, April 30th, 1998. It has to be there, Hermione insisted. She was adamant that we'd broken into her vault. They had circled this argument before. Bellatrix's behavior at Malfoy Manor the month prior had implied that something important was housed in the Lestrange vault and not just an imitation of the Sword of Gryffindor. Unfortunately, there was no way to get inside. Ron suggested Polyjuice Potion, but without a piece of Bellatrix to use, that was impossible. Harry wanted to return to the manor to see if he could find someone to use, but Sirius refused to allow any of them to risk themselves on a suicidal mission. Hermione wanted to ask Narcissa for help. She was Bellatrix's sister, after all. But Sirius explained that since the Horcrux would be hidden in the Lestrange vault, God damn it! I fucked up in the review. I revealed things that are going to happen in this chapter.
Well, I don't know that.
You don't know that.
Some of them may not know that.
Technically, it's a major.
Yep.
It wasn't a major plot point. I'm sorry. I mean, it is, but whatever. You're about to hear it anyway. Yay!
Oh, I get it. There's 3 pumpkins.
Oh my! It's gonna be a long.
Nobody
chapter,
has
y'all.
you.
I will fight you.
Okay, Punky.
We don't talk about that. I kid. Hermione wanted to ask Narcissa for help. She was.
What cracks me up is I was about to make a "we don't talk about Bruno" joke, and yeah,
Narcissa had no claim to it, despite being a blood relation to Bellatrix. Not while Rodolphus and Ravisten Lestrange remained alive. It was Ron who then proposed hunting down the Lestrange brothers and killing them, after which everyone in the room proceeded to ignore him. Harry suggested asking Griphook, which Sirius shot down quickly. He insisted Griphook would turn on a lot of them faster than Creature had betrayed them, which is exactly what happened in the movies and the books. They had when they were handed the Horcrux on a silver platter.
Hell yeah, quit
That silver
that.
platter arrived in the form of a dragon. Shut up. That silver platter arrived in the form of a dragon Patronus that burst into the kitchen at Shell Cottage late one night. All occupants, save for Harry, Hermione, Sirius, and Ron, were asleep. Hermione admired the intricate beauty of the Patronus as it hovered for a few moments before opening its mouth and speaking with Draco Malfoy's voice. Potter, I have information you may be interested in. The Dark Lord wants me to go to Gringotts with Rodolphus in order to fetch an item of great importance. He was enraged to find out that not only was Bellatrix killed, but the Sword of Gryffindor might be missing from her vault. We're headed to Diagon Alley tomorrow. If you find this information helpful, I'll expect to be accosted outside Gringotts. Let Granger or Black be the one to engage us. Weasel might hurt himself. Ron glared as the dragon vanished. Prick. Hermione ignored him, practically vibrating with excitement. Did you hear what he said? Ron glowered. Yeah, I heard the ferret. It wasn't a ferret, it was a dragon, Hermione corrected him, annoyed that he was focusing on childhood rivalries instead of the amazing gift they'd just been handed. How come he gets a dragon? Harry asked, looking deflated. Hermione observed the wizards sitting around the table, each looking put out by the appearance of the Patronus, Sirius included. She narrowed her gaze at each of them. Are you joking? Malfoy is offering to deliver us a Horcrux, and you have decided, instead of celebrating, to have a pity party over the fact that his Patronus is a dragon? Ron frowned. Mine's just a stupid dog. Hey! Oh, sorry. Hey, Sirius barked. I take offense to that. Mine's a dog, too. Well, of course yours is a dog. You're a dog, Ron countered. Mine's a stag like my dad's, Harry added, clearly trying to make himself feel better. Well, then how come I got a dog? Ron whinged. It's nothing to do with me. Hermione smacked the back of Ron's head. Oh, for crying out loud. You think my otter has anything to do with me? Sirius's eyebrows raised, and he looked at her with a confused expression. Your Patronus is an otter? I'm sorry. Your Patronus is an otter? Hermione put her hands on her hips. Yes. Got something to say about it? She asked, daring him to poke fun at her otter. But there was a heavy knock on the front door, and everyone's head turned. Bill came running out of his bedroom, concern splashed across his face, pointing his wand at the door. Harry, Ron, Sirius, and Hermione did the same. Who is it? Bill demanded. It's me. Oh, crap, I can't remember what his voice. It's me, Remus Lupin, came a voice over the howling wind. I am a werewolf, married to Nymphadora Tonks, and you, the secret keeper of Shell Cottage, told me the address and said to come in an emergency. Remus fell over the threshold when Bill wrenched the door open. He was white-faced, wrapped in a traveling cloak, his graying hair windswept. He straightened up, looked around the room, making sure of who was there, then bellowed, It's a boy! We've named him after Dora's father, Edwin Remus Lupin. Hermione shrieked, Congratulations, Remus! And rushed to him.
Hey, Claire, you want to know a secret?
Are you pregnant?
His name is Edward. You called him Edwin.
God damn it! Hermione shrieked, Congratulations, Remus! And rushed to him, wrapping her arms around his waist. He hugged her back with enthusiasm and kissed the top of her head. Sirius grinned brightly. Tonks had the baby? Yes, she's had the baby. All around the room came cries of delight and sighs of relief at the news. Congratulations!
Congratulations!
Blimey, a baby, Ron said, as if he'd never heard of such a thing before. Yes, a baby boy, Remus repeated, looking dazed by his own happiness. He strode around the table, and hugged Sirius, then Harry. The scene in the kitchen of Grimmauld Place might never have happened. You'll be godfather, he asked as he released Harry, his eyes lingering on Hermione's smiling face for a moment, as though he wanted to say something to her, but held back. Me? Yes, you, of course. Dora agrees. No one better. Hey, Sirius protested, his brows furrowing as he sat back down. I'll have you know I'm the only one here who has experience in the act of godfathering. Poor Sirius, Hermione smirked and walked up behind him to place a kiss on the top of his head and pat his shoulder consolingly. Realizing what she had done, she stood up straight and cleared her throat before crossing the room and kissing Harry's cheek while muttering, Congratulations, Harry. Her surprising act of affection silenced Sirius, though he kept his arms crossed over his chest in mute protest, and she could hear him grumbling under his breath. It's not like I'm your best friend or anything. Bill hurried to fetch wine, and Fleur persuaded Remus to join them for a drink. I can't stay long. I must get back. Remus, looking years younger than Hermione had ever seen him, beamed around at all of them. Thank you, Bill. Bill had soon filled all of their goblets. They stood and raised them high in a toast. To Edward Remus Lupin. Teddy, Remus saluted joyfully. A great wizard in the making. A wizard? Hermione questioned him knowingly, emphasizing the word to make a point. Remus grinned at her brightly. Yes, a wizard, he replied, and kissed her cheek. Thank you, Hermione. Who does he look like? Fleur inquired. I think he favors Dora, but she thinks he looks like me. Poor lad, Sirius snickered, and Hermione glared at him, but Remus just laughed. Not much hair. It looked black when he was born, but I swear it turned ginger in the hour since. Probably blonde by the time I get back. Andromeda said Dora's hair started changing color the day she was born. Remus drained his goblet in one large swallow. Oh, go on then. Just one more, he said, beaming, as Bill made to fill it again. So, have I missed anything important over here? Hermione, Harry, Ron, and Sirius all shared a look before Sirius finally spoke. Nothing you need to worry about, Moony. You've got a wife and a kid to take care of. In fact, since you've hurt my very soul by not making me the godfather of your firstborn, I'll accept your apology in the form of you staying inside a locked and warded house with your family. Remus rolled his eyes. Until when? Until I send you a Patronus, Sirius retorted, his tone darkening. I'm not joking, Remus. The only reason you or Tonks step foot out of your door is if Hermione or I tell you to. I mean, that's such like a weird turnaround. I'm like, yay, you're having a baby. Also, never leave your house ever, because you might die.
Hi.
Hey, you alive? I'm making
Because
sure
I
you're
have
still
nothing to
alive. You haven't
say.
had much commentary.
I'm not inspired.
You're not inspired.
But both boys were
Not
deep in their
inspired.
goblets. Now that's something to talk about. You haven't even said that yet. Sorry.
No, I haven't gotten there yet. Goddamn. Shocked
The way I
with
said
Hermione,
goddamn
Hermione
sounds
looked back
just
at
like the Dark
Flitwick
Wizard,
and
by the way.
having expected Remus to be as confused as her, or for Sirius to take back his words. When neither did as she assumed they would, she glanced at Harry and Ron to silently ask them. But both boys were deep in their goblets.
Yeah.
Fine, fine, I'll occupy my time with late-night feedings and dirty nappies, Remus said, chuckling. Now, I really must get back. He declined another goblet of wine as he got to his feet, pulling his traveling cloak back around himself. I'll try and send some pictures in a few days' time. Everyone at home will be so glad to know that I've seen you. After fastening his cloak, Remus made his farewells, hugging the women and clasping hands with the men. Damn, bro, can't even hug the guys? Sirius is your best fucking friend, bro.
Yeah, bro.
Yeah, bro.
Let it be known I even call my
What
child bro.
happened?
Be a bro, bro. Fight me, broski. Get me a brewski, broski.
Jesus.
No.
You're no fun.
Oh, no.
Godfather, Harry. Bill grinned and patted Harry on the back. Yeah, Harry smiled, clearly still dazed by the request. Serious. What does a godfather even do?
Yeah, right. He makes you an offer you can't refuse.
I mean, he's been a
Stupid.
godfather for how long now?
Yeah, but I barely see the kid.
Could be worse. No one's been willing to trust me with their child yet. I do not have a god in front of my parent name yet.
Well, luckily I have no siblings, so you're a god aunt.
Boom.
Fuck.
I'm not exactly an expert, Sirius shrugged, looking sadly down into his goblet of wine. You just take care of him. He's your family now, as good as yours. Keep him safe. The first couple of years are relatively simple, he counseled, looking as though he was trying to sweep away the sadness that had suddenly clouded the conversation. Spoil the hell out of him. With a loud sigh, he set his cup down on the table and cleared his throat. All right, enough of this sappy nonsense. We've got a Malfoy to mug tomorrow. May 1st, 1998. The plan was simple. Sirius operated to a back street, just off Nocturne Alley, immediately shifting into Padfoot and making his way to the end of the road where his focus could be glued to the entrance of Gringotts. Ron had been transfigured and was now sporting black, messy hair that fell past his ears and a long goatee.
Ew. That's not a good look for his pasty white.
Dude,
coat.
I'm totally picturing, like, a Rasputin style. Yeah. He looked like a displaced Death Eater from Durmstrang, more Igor Karkaroff than Weasley. It was the best any of them could come up with on such short notice. Harry and Hermione were hidden
Okay.
beneath the invisibility cloak, eagerly awaiting Sirius's signal. The plan had been... That was
What was
me
that?
yawning and then apparently whistling through my throat. Fight me.
It sounded like you were going through a tunnel.
Shut the fuck up. I don't like you right now. You're being mean. Why are you mean to me?
Excuse me?
Our friendship.
We need to work on how we show our love. I think
every
that's
time I
the
listen to the show,
problem.
I'm like, wow, we're both assholes.
We're an
We
abusive
are, but it's
friendship.
like consensual abuse.
Look.
Consent is key, kids.
Okay.
I broke her.
I was gonna say something, but I was like, I don't know if that's correct because I don't know anything about that. And then I was like, that's weird, so I'm just gonna be quiet. Okay, come on.
The plan had been to stake out the bank and wait for Draco and Lestrange to pass by, and then attack them when they exited, hopefully with a Horcrux in hand. Ron was supposed to stand guard while Harry and Hermione attacked, at which point Sirius would rush in and snatch up the package, and the four of them would apparate back to Shell Cottage. It should have been simple, all things considered. What they had not planned on was Voldemort's loss of trust in Draco. Whatever happened at Malfoy Manor after their escape remained unknown to them, but the morning before the plan to convene in front of the Gringotts was set to go, Harry had a
Report.
vision.
Did I just say the
Despite helping
Gringotts?
Harry with his occlumency, Sirius could do nothing when Voldemort's experiences bled through the connection while Harry was sleeping.
Harry had a vision, like, that's so Potter. It's the future. I can see.
You're only seeing
Sorry.
that because she just got voted off of Masked Singer a while ago.
Yeah, and also because Kaylin Allen, who works for Ellen, just got Disney Plus, and on his freaking Insta story, he was.
Oh my
watching
God,
it and
Ellen was
he
still on the
taped
air.
beginning of the intro, and he
Nice.
was singing it, so it's in my head. So his fault. Sirius heard the
Wait.
screaming.
But we're doing a flashback. Do you remember what we do for flashbacks?
We speak loudly because it's in capitals.
There's a lot of rewinding.
You sound like a you a white
Alright, so
voice machine.
Sirius heard the screaming and pulled Harry into his arms, holding him as he thrashed for several minutes. When Harry eventually opened his eyes, gasping for breath, he informed everyone that had gathered around, due to his screams, that Draco had been attacked with legitimacy. I saw everything, Harry said, panting. He kept up the lie, but Rodolphus told you-know-who that Malfoy might have been involved in Bellatrix's death, so they got him while he was sleeping. This isn't new. It's been happening since we escaped. They've been torturing Malfoy, trying to see if he'll eventually break and tell the truth. Hermione visibly flinched, and everyone, Sirius included, saw the way she wrapped her arms around herself when Harry brought up Draco being tortured. Sirius himself felt a deep rage over what was being done to his young cousin, but his priorities needed to remain the same. We stick to the plan. It could be a trap, Ron said cautiously. If it is, then
Fucking gigantic.
Malfoy's
That
bait.
is so
Harry said.
obnoxious. Why
He
is
spat
that
on his
part
brow and
so
turned himself
big?
to Sirius's script. I don't like
Putting that just
but I
in
want
the
there to be
room.
another casualty in this war. Even if it's a trap, we have to go. We need the Horcrux.
What crap is Pratt?
It's kind of like a nicer way of saying a dick.
Oh, I thought that was the other
Which other word?
when they call him Daft Prick. That's what I thought that was. But so I'm not British.
Yeah, daft prick is like dumb dick. No, like dumbass.
Dumb dick.
I'm gonna use a prat. It's kind of like a cross between being a dickhead and a brat. If we rescue Malfoy in the process, all the better, Hermione added. Sirius was annoyed, but not entirely surprised when Draco was not only incredibly late, arriving at the bank just before it closed, but Rodolphus was no longer the only one to escort the young wizard inside Gringotts.
Who the heck is Rodolphus?
Rodolphus Lestrange
The
was
only
married
picture
to
I have.
Bellatrix Lestrange.
That's sad.
Someone can be married to that? Okay.
As the doors to the bank opened, Sirius's eyes widened at the sight of not only Rodolphus, but also Ravista Lestrange.
Ravista. Why do I say that so,
Travers,
like,
the Elder Crab, and
over the
Goyle
top?
Senior following behind.
The Elder Crab.
Yeah, so Vincent Crab, the little brat that used to follow Draco around, this is his dad. Yeah, so
okay.
like Crab and Goyle is dads. And then Travers is just a name of one.
Wait, Crab and Goyle were brothers?
No. They both have separate dads.
But you just said Crab and Goyle's dad.
Dads. Because it says, it's Rodolphus, Ravista,
God, that's
Travers, and then Crab Senior and Goyle Senior. Draco looked on edge as he descended the stairs outside the bank, glancing suspiciously around Diagon Alley. His lips curled into a scowl. There was a package in his hands that appeared to be covered in very recent burns. Sirius immediately recognized the results of what had to have been a flagrante curse, which was taught to the black children early on in life, when they were caught snooping through their parents' belongings. Do you remember what happened when they tried to get the cup out of the vault? Do you remember when they touched things and they started to shake and multiply?
Yeah.
Okay, so that's the flagrante curse. So not
Oh,
only do they
flagrante.
multiply, but they also heat up and burn you. And so the burns all over his hands are from grabbing the cup. It was cruel and harsh, though he could not help but think that it would be a perfect trap to set inside a vault. Scanning the alley once more, Padfoot nodded his head knowingly when he made eye contact with Draco. Visibly breathing deep, Draco took his mother's wand in hand, quickly ducking down whilst throwing up a non-verbal protection shield around his body that was purposely evident to anyone actually paying attention. The Death Eaters, thankfully, were not so observant. Sirius shifted his form and sent a pair of stunning spells towards the small crowd, hitting Crabbe first, then Goyle directly after. From the other side of the street, Harry and Hermione jumped out from the cloak that hid them, shooting spells, hexes, and jinxes at the gathered Death Eaters. Draco disillusioned himself and slipped into the background. with the package in hand. Spell after spell.
I got the package.
Sirius took on Rodolphus, Ron fought Travers, and Harry and Hermione faced Rabastan. Stupefy! Harry shouted, but Rabastan evaded the spell. We have to end this quickly. We're drawing attention, Hermione yelled. Push them together, Sirius ordered.
Now kiss.
Ron called out, Impedimenta! The jinx hit Travers square in the chest, knocking him down between the bodies of Crabbe and Goyle. He then went to Sirius's side to help him fight the elder Lestrange brother. I knew it was you, Black! Rodolphus screamed. I knew the Malfoy boy was a blood traitor, and that my fellow wouldn't have been overpowered by a bloody werewolf. Sirius laughed. No, but she was overpowered so easily by a mere dog. You'll pay for what you did, Rodolphus bellowed and aimed his wand. Avada Ked! Hermione screamed, Confundo Maxima! From behind Harry. Her Confunda spell hit Rodolphus Lestrange before he even had a chance to finish his curse, and the man tumbled backwards against the steps. Petrificus Totalis! Ron shouted, finding the Death Eater's body. A little help here, Ron yelled as Rabastan descended upon himself and Hermione. Lestrange.
Harry yelled.
Harry, what did I say?
Ron yelled.
Damn it!
That's terrible at this. Like, so bad.
A little help here, Harry yelled as Rabastan descended upon himself and Hermione. Lestrange cast curse after curse at the two. Ron stood guard over the bodies of the stunned and bound Death Eaters while keeping eyes peeled for any potential backup. Crucio! Rabastan's curse missed Hermione by mere centimeters. Hearing the curse, Sirius spun to attack before he had a chance to retaliate, and before Rabastan could cast another unforgivable in Hermione's direction, a voice from behind him called out, Avada Kedavra, and Rabastan's body fell forward, pale and lifeless.
Hell yeah.
Hermione gasped at the sight and looked up in time to see Draco Malfoy drop his disillusionment charm. What the hell, Malfoy? Ron screamed and stormed forward. You tricked us! Didn't I say not to let him do anything? Draco scowled at Harry. Here, get this away from me. It's given me nothing but trouble. He handed over the package.
Yeah. Reading out loud is the bane of my existence, and the fact that I did it for that long is still impressive to me.
I wasn't a part of this welcome wagon for you. Being on your fucking side has given me nothing but problems. Oh, poor you, Ron scoffed.
Wait, so Draco set them up?
No. He's on their side.
Oh. Okay, never mind.
Granger, get your boyfriend out of my face before I set him on fire, Draco threatened. Sirius ignored the squabbling. Instead, he used his energy to check everyone for injury, since they seemed to be too busy to bother with such trivial things. Malfoy's tone, however, was grating on his last nerve. Ron, back off, Hermione directed. And he's not my boyfriend. Like I really give a shit about specifics. Well, is that it? He asked Harry, who was staring at a fine golden cup in his hands. This is it, Harry confirmed. Let's get back to Shell Cottage. Not yet. You want them to follow you? Draco pointed to the unconscious and bound Death Eaters behind them. They need to be arrested, Hermione insisted. Oh,
by who?
I'll just call the R's then, Granger. Draco's eye roll was accompanied by a long-suffering sigh. Except, if you haven't noticed, they're all working for the Dark Lord. Shaking his head, his attention turned to Sirius, who was walking up the steps. Look away if you can't do it yourself, Sirius mumbled under his breath, aiming his wand at the bound Rodolphus Lestrange, who glared up at him with a viciousness that Sirius had rarely seen outside his own family. Sirius, Hermione whimpered. Draco aimed his wand and sent a killing curse at the unconscious Travers. This is war, Granger, he said, his voice cold. Sirius, please, Hermione begged. I know this is war, but I think there's a very big difference between defending yourself in battle and killing an unarmed enemy. Sirius tightened his jaw, struggling to reach decision. Shockingly, he remembered a time when he was the reasonable one.
Yes. Kat did that all the goddamn time with the fucking movies.
But the look in her eyes was causing him pain, and he couldn't help
all the goddamn time.
A fraction of an inch. Bloody Gryffindors! Draco scowled and stalked over past Sirius, aiming his wand and shouting, Avada Kedavra!
Shit,
the
dude.
last son of the House of Lestrange. Draco then turned and aimed at Crabbe, but hesitated. Sirius, immediately aware of the boy's change in demeanor, approached and put a hand on his shoulder. It's too much. You can't take lives without consequences. Don't end up like him, he said. And though he didn't mention a specific...
Okay, shut up, Mila. That was an accident.
Come on. Let's go see your mom, yeah? Draco merely nodded. The moment was cut by a loud scream as Harry gripped his head and collapsed to the ground. Harry! Multiple people yelled as they ran to his side. Hermione reached quickly for the Horcrux before Harry dropped it. What is it? Sirius asked, gripping his godson by the arms. What did you see? Draco rolled his eyes at the theatrics and incredulously asked, Potter's a seer now? He's... Harry forced the words out of his mouth. He's coming! Hurry, we need to just apparate back... Hurry, we need to apparate back to the cottage, Ron urged.
I put a new
Don't
one
be
there.
stupid, Weasel.
Don't
Draco
be
said. He's got
stupid.
the R's on his side. What the hell does that have to do with anything? They can track... They can track apparition now. Are you laughing at me for stumbling over words?
No.
Are you sure?
I am as sure as you are crazy.
Well, that's just hurtful.
Bless your heart.
Hey now.
Rude.
You're an all-star.
Get your game on. Go play. You're an all-star.
Okay, we have to pay for that.
We have to pay
Or
for
does that...
I don't know if anybody's gonna pay for that version.
Muggle, I'll apparate to the cave where I stayed when I was on the run with Beyonce. Now,
I'm sorry, when was Sirius on the run with Beyonce? I missed that.
I don't know, they went on the run 1 and 2, so he had to be there somewhere.
They can track apparition now. Everyone stared at the blonde, wide-eyed in shock. That certainly new. What do we do? Hermione eventually asked. We leave a trail too difficult to follow, Sirius advised. We'll split up for the time being. Ron, set along with Draco back to the forest where you returned to us, he directed. Harry and Hermione will go somewhere Muggle. I'll apparate to the cave where I stayed when I was on the run. Then we'll need to apparate somewhere else and meet up.
Should it have been, not to like criticize her, but should it have been Harry and Hermione will go somewhere, like, period, Muggle, I'll apparate to the cave.
You're apparating somewhere that... They don't use Muggle as, like, Muggle, please, that's not a thing. We made that up.
It should.
This Muggle. Anyway,
Need to snuggle.
no. Malfoy Manor, Draco offered. Ron
You
paled.
didn't finish the sentence.
Oh.
Then we'll need to apparate somewhere else to meet up and meet up. Claire got me the reading disease.
I think I could do it. Okay. Then we'll apparate.
Rude.
Well, is that oh my god. Longest chapter in the world. Then we'll need to...
ABC Mouse is what Claire's getting for Christmas.
Fuck. She was mean.
Then we'll need to apparate somewhere else and meet up. Malfoy Manor, Draco offered. Ron paled. What? If the Dark Lord is on his way here, that means he won't be there. The flue in my sitting room connects directly to the headmaster's office at Hogwarts. It's how Snape and I have been communicating throughout this. Sirius growled at the name. Draco groaned. Look, I know you've got a problem with him, but he's on your side, and we're wasting time. We need to get to Hogwarts anyway, Sirius, Harry pointed out, his gaze unfocused as he slumped against Hermione. It's where the next one will be. I saw it in his mind. I saw him trying to figure out where to go next. I still don't think we should trust, Ron began, but Harry cut him off. We need to get going, he said firmly. Can you imagine what he's going to do once he realizes the ring and the locket are gone? What if he moves the Hogwarts Horcrux and decides it isn't safe enough? That thing's a fucking Horcrux? The color drained from Draco's face as he stared at the cup in Hermione's hands. He looked at Harry. What did you mean by the ring and the locket? He's got more than one. We've been destroying them, Harry explained. Fuck, Draco grimaced, his face finally showing fear. Sirius growled. Everyone, go, now. Turning on the spot, they each vanished into the crushing darkness. So, how you feeling so far? What you think?
This is not.
A little bit different from the movie, huh?
Oh yeah.
See, that,
I just am waiting for the dirty part. Because I think I can comment better.
They're coming.
Because all I want to do when you're reading this is, okay, and I'm going to age myself a little bit, but in the Emperor's New Groove, when Gronk is, like, going down the stairs with the llama in the bag, and he's, like, doing his own, like, theme music, that's all I want to do when you're reading. I just want to be like, dun, 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 ah! Like,
Why over here?
Yeah, I was expecting something like, I just want to play Marvin Gaye in the background. Let's get on.
That's horrible. That right now, this is action-packed, man.
Alright, so this is one. Dun, 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 dun.
Yeah, I'm trying to channel my inner Alexander Desplat.
Oh, I love
Desplat.
him. I love him so much. For those of you who don't know, Alexander Desplat, or how the fuck you pronounce his name, because he's French.
I think he's
yeah,
French.
Super American, just call him Desplat.
Which is what I just did.
Yep, his cat's super American. He was the composer for movies 7 and 8 for the Harry Potter series. He also did New Moon for Twilight, which terrible movie, great freaking soundtrack.
You know what's really funny about that? Is I had no idea he actually did the soundtrack for these movies. I just pulled that name out my butt.
Oh, I'm so proud of you!
Because that was like the first composer that came to my mind, and I was like,
Wait, really?
okay.
And how the fuck was that the first composer that came to our mind?
Not
Not John
John
Williams,
Williams.
Hans Zimmer?
Not Harry Gregson Williams, not Hans Zimmer, Patrick Doyle, Nicholas Hooper. Now I'm just naming off all the composers for Harry Potter.
I can't explain my head plan.
What is this feeling? So sudden and new.
Do you want to build a snowman?
Oh god.
Oh, Sirius landed.
Sirius landed in the small road on the outskirts of Hogsmeade that led to the cave where he had hidden years ago when he had been on the run with Buckbeak. He thought about
Dude, I
after
thought I
he
said
actually
fuck
did the
beak
cave.
for a
He knew
second.
that being wrong, he would end up on the edge of the cliff. Before he could take it. What's funny now? What the fuck was so funny?
If he aimed wrong, he would end up on the edge of a cliff.
Okay, is that like an
He had
orgasm joke or something? I'm missing it.
to be there.
Clearly.
Ain't nobody love me better. Makes me happy. Makes me feel this way. Ain't nobody. Sorry.
Blame it on the juice, baby. Blame it on the juice.
Ah, yes, before Lizzo was
I took a
canceled.
DNA test and I'm 100%
That
down
witch.
with
I doubt Lizzo will ever listen to this podcast, but if she does, you're a fucking queen, and you are a goddess, and you are everything.
That did not age well.
And Harry Potter.
Before he could take
I thought you were
himself,
apologizing
the
for
air
not
was
being
rent
in
by a loud
a
scream
YouTube
as he
live
shook
because
up
you
his
were,
arms
you know,
and his hands flew
working.
up. Caterwauling charge.
Lizzo apparently was encouraging people to do things at strip clubs that they weren't comfortable with, and
Passed over the village.
yeah,
Scowled and shifted into Padfoot.
did not reflect well on her.
Taking back
I think she's recovering-ish these days, but
wands at the ready as they searched high and low for whoever had set off the charm.
I know there's been a
Look
push to
everywhere.
not be quite
Potter's
as
got an invisibility
lenient.
cloak, so check every corner, even if you don't see anything. What about the Dementors? Called another Death Eater. Let them have free reign and they'll find them quick enough. The Dark Lord wants Potter dead at his own hands. Dementors won't kill him. The Dark Lord wants Potter's life, not his soul. He'll be easier to kill if he's been kissed first, the other Death Eater argued. Padfoot flinched at the sight of a few Dementors moving in and out of the streets. He swallowed hard, refusing to make eye contact.
What?
God damn it. I was gonna say, I'm so glad she stopped laughing over swallowed hard. And then what does she do?
Oh my god! You are a child.
Oh, says the person who the other day I had a conversation about how farts are funny. Come on, and you told me that you are 5 years.
Farts are now even funnier because I have a little boy.
The other podcast I'm on, we struggled to get through the episode on penises. It's a medical podcast before anyone makes
That
assumptions,
podcast was not
but,
long-lived.
yeah, we did
I ended
the
up
entire
leaving it
episode
because
on
Firewhisky
female
and Honey
issues,
took off,
we
and
kept laughing
it was too many podcasts to stick with. And then she tried to replace me, and then it just didn't work. And then I tried to reach out to her to see how she was doing, and she like blocked my number.
Yeah, we're not like
There's a
talking
lot of
about what it feels like to have
weird
penis.
stuff.
We're talking about weird things that happens to penises, like this one guy.
But you don't have one, so how would you know?
Well, no, we're reading like medical stories. This one guy got a tattoo on his dick and had a permanent erection for like 4 months.
Ah, I forgot about
and
that.
It didn't fall off.
It fell off.
It fell off. It fell the fuck off.
Oh, tater salad.
God bless tater salad. For those of you not aware, it's probably
What, you
one of
missed
our
the
non-American
lug
listeners that
nut
is
day?
long white. That is hilarious.
The left
Jesus,
rear
okay,
wheel
chapter in the world. Mainly 'cause
falls off.
we digress.
It
We
fell
need a different word for we
off.
digress. Or
It
maybe just keep
fell
we digress
the
and then just get a
fuck
button that
off.
says we digress.
No,
Yes.
no,
Yes.
No.
Yes.
no.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
I will explain it to you offline why we cannot do that.
Another podcast does that, don't they?
No.
Okay.
Apparently you put this out of your mind, but okay.
I know you told me something about it, but I don't remember what it is. We'll talk about it offline.
Okay.
We'll talk about this
You swallowed
offline.
hard.
Terms that got
Yeah.
real goddamn old
no.
during COVID.
He swallowed hard, refusing to make eye contact, silently hoping
#shame.
silently hoping that none of them recognized him in this forum. If Sirius could sneak out of Azkaban from a cramped cell in the midst of 100 Dementors, he could manage this handful of them. It was difficult, however, as he pushed closer and closer to the creatures and felt all of the happiness evaporating from his body. Terrible memories prickled at his mind the closer he got to the monsters, and he
I don't know
cringed
why I
as
just
voices
ate that
from the
many.
past
That was
echoed
wasteful.
inside of his head. Sirius, don't leave. Please, Sirius, don't leave me. Shaking his head and trying to breathe, he focused.
#needy.
Hashtag what?
Needy.
Needy.
File that away for another day. Shaking his head and trying to breathe, he focused as hard as possible and continued forward past the Dementors, clinging to what little hope he had left. Finally, reaching the street that led up to Hogwarts, Padfoot ducked from sight, slipping into the back door of Honeyduke's. The shop was closed, and it didn't look like it was just for the day. Death Eaters had completely taken over the sweet little town that had filled his youth with such joy. It left a bitter taste in his mouth to see it so empty and lifeless. The joy literally sucked out of it. Oh god, that is bleh.
It was so bad.
Don't like that.
Don't like that.
Snort! Triple snort! That's gonna be a tricky case. Oh god. Yeah, except because you don't snort as often as you should, it'd have to be like a bottle of wine per snort. Anyway. He sneaked stealthily into the basement passage.
Sneaked stealth. Fuck you, Shy.
One-eyed witch.
Fucking
He ran the length of it
impossible
as
to
quickly
read.
as he could. When he reached the end, he spotted a figure. Padfoot skulked forward, low to the ground, taking in the familiar face as though she had aged 20+ years. Alecto Caro stood at the end of a long passageway, mumbling bitterly to herself about Snape and his high-handed ways. "Check the bloody passages, Alecto," she said in a mocking tone. "Search the 7th floor corridor, Alecto. Guard the Ravenclaw Tower, Alecto. Like he bloody does anything himself."
God, that's annoying.
She's supposed to be.
Mhm.
Padfoot rolled his eyes and made his way out into the open, whimpering softly and limping on his front right leg, as though injured. "Who's there?" She aimed her wand before letting her gaze focus on him. Padfoot stopped moving, blinking wide puppy eyes at her, letting out a soft whining noise. "Oi! Get lost, mutt!" She scowled and lowered her wand.
Dumb
Fucking
bitch.
idiot. Alecto's dying scream echoed in the passageway as Sirius crawled out from behind the one-eyed witch statue, wand drawn and searching for signs of life. Lamenting that he had not thought to take the Marauder's map from Harry, he turned back into Padfoot, knowing that it would cause less of a disturbance than his human self. Only a handful of people knew he was an animagus. The halls were silent and empty, save for a few prefects, all Slytherins, patrolling the corridors here and there in a desultory fashion. Padfoot ducked into dark alcoves and behind curtains, waiting for them to pass as he quickly moved on, making his way towards the headmaster's office.
Making my way
Hopes that
down,
Harry,
down,
Ron,
walking
Hermione, and Draco
down,
were already at
face,
Hogwarts,
home, back,
and not waiting for him at
face,
Hogwarts. When he was almost to the gargoyle, he suddenly
Don't
realized
judge me.
he had no way of getting inside. Dumbledore's office was often quite easy to sneak into, with Remus as a friend. Sirius knew every suite ever made and in alphabetical order. But Dumbledore was gone, and his murderer now occupied his post. To his surprise, the same murderer was now descending the spiraling staircase from behind the gargoyle, his black robes billowing behind him.
I have a question.
Yes.
Okay, so in the movie, technically, this is how I understood it. Draco was supposed to kill Dumbledore, but then freaking Alan Rickman took the whatever the crap unforgivable curse or whatever the heck it is, and was like, "Oh yeah, I'm gonna protect Draco." And then as Draco was gonna kill Dumbledore, he chickened out because he couldn't do it. So that's why Alan Rickman did it, because he was supposed to keep his word to the peoples, otherwise he died. So is that the same thing?
Yes. Now, the underlying thing that was not apparent at the beginning of Half-Blood Prince is that not only did he make the unbreakable vow with Narcissa to finish the job if Draco couldn't, but he had also promised Dumbledore to protect Draco and to kill Dumbledore himself so as not to allow Draco to harm his soul by committing murder.
Oh, so if Draco murders somebody, then his soul gets...
Yeah. Well, that's the whole idea behind the Horcruxes. So when you kill somebody, your soul is split in two, and then if you do the Horcrux thing, you can take that split piece of your soul and put it into an object.
Yeah.
So, for example, Voldemort split his soul 7 ways, right? So each piece of his soul, though, that is in an object is a different size. So the diary, which was the first one, had half of his soul, because when you have one full soul, you split it in two, put one half in, that's half. Well, the next time you split your soul in half, you only
Now I have Half of My Heart
soul
by
so you have to put in a quarter.
John Mayer stuck in my head.
It really is living on a
Half
very
of my
small
heart,
amount of
dun
soul.
dun dun. That's the only part I can
So
remember
Dumbledore
is
didn't want Draco to
just
have
the
to
line half of my heart.
murder it, 17 So he asked Snape to do the deed.
Do
Sirius
the
shifted
deed.
back into his human form and pointed his wand directly at Snape's throat. Snivelous. Black. Snape's voice dripped with scorn, not looking surprised to see Sirius. I'd heard rumors of your unfortunate return from the grave. Not that you were actually buried, of course. Tell me, were you even dead? Or was it another poorly planned escape of yours? Sirius growled menacingly. Get back up the stairs. Snape sneered at him in reply, black eyes narrowing. I advise you to get your wand out of my throat, dog. I stopped taking your threats earnestly years ago.
Nope, wait.
You really shouldn't have. Get up the stairs now, Snape. I happen to have need of your flu. Snape's black eyes met Sirius's steely stare, neither man willing to back down. And why would I possibly grant access to you? Because your only hope of surviving another encounter with me hangs on the fact that a certain young blonde Death Eater has vouched for you. And I need that fucking flu to speak to him. Sirius waited for a reply, staring coldly at his lifelong rival. If Snape was surprised by the revelation, he did not let Sirius know. And how do I know that young Malfoy is, in fact, with you? Because unlike you piece of shit Death Eaters, Sirius snarled, I don't kill children. Snape moved only slightly as he turned to the statue. Speaking of children, I can only assume by your lack of emotional breakdown that Potter still lives. Dumbledore, he said, and the gargoyle slid aside, revealing once again the large spiral staircase. Dumbledore's your password? You're sick.
Oh, wait, no, this is my normal
As
arm.
dense as you ever were. Black, Snape said, as he climbed the staircase. If, in fact, Mr. Malfoy has informed you of my allegiances, then you should know that the headmaster's death was, in truth... I don't want to hear it, Sirius snapped. Just get me to the bloody flu. Snape glowered as they entered his office. Very well. See, I knew my worthless great-great-grandson wasn't really dead. Hiding out, was he, Severus? A portrait of Phineas Nigellus Black remarked, staring daggers down at Sirius. He is not admitted such, Snape muttered. Yet. The flu, Snivelous, Sirius barked. Snape folded his arms across his chest, burying his hand within the sleeves of his robes. Very well, it's open for your use, though it only connects to one place, and I can't imagine you'll be welcome company. I bloody know where it goes, Sirius glared at him, and you're coming with me. Absolutely not, Snape said impassively.
Oh, come on.
He's coming to Hogwarts, Sirius said, his voice low and threatening. Now. If Snape betrayed any hint of emotion, it was minuscule, but he did silently stalk towards the flue as Sirius's words sparked something inside him. Do I want to know who's on the other end of this? Not enemies. How very vague. Thank you. Snape rolled his eyes, threw powder into the fireplace, and spoke aloud. Malfoy Manor. After you, Sirius gestured, and watched Snape enter the flames, following him moments later. On the other end of the flue, they exited a large fireplace and entered a sitting room at Malfoy Manor cautiously. The room was lit brightly with beautiful lanterns. Per Narcissus' style, every piece of furniture matched, all priceless antiques in pristine condition. The floors were well polished, exquisite art hung on the walls, and a large chandelier graced the middle of the room, the very opposite of what the atmosphere of the drawing room had been a month earlier. It was not the lovely furniture, the gorgeous art, or the
You know, I am
polished
quite
clothes
impressed
that
with my
Sirius was
Alan
focused on.
Rickman voice. Not mad about it.
Attention was drawn to the center of the room, where Harry and Ron had their wands aimed at the Slytherin. Draco, in turn, had his wand aimed back at Ron. Hermione stood at the side, screaming at the lot of them, the impatient and frustrated expression on her face rivaling the likes of Molly Weasley. Snape glowered, crossing his arms and letting out an impatient sigh. Oh, good. Our world is saved. What the hell's going on here? Sirius demanded. Sirius! Hermione turned to him, relief on her face as she rushed into his arms, wrapping hers tightly around his waist. I thought, Merlin, when you didn't show up... I'm fine, kitten, Sirius assured her, gently tugging one of her curls. What'd Malfoy do? He caught Snape observing their interaction with slightly raised eyebrow. His expression instantly shifted into a sneer when Sirius glared at him threateningly. Hermione paid Snape no attention. I don't know. Harry and I arrived, and Ron and Malfoy were screaming at one another. They drew wands, Harry jumped in, and the other with insults, and I haven't been able to get a word out of any of them. Oi! Sirius yelled, and the three young wizards looked at him. Harry grinned. Sirius!
Pretty sure Annabeth was about to murder
What
me
did you
for
do?
that oi,
Sirius
because it was
asked Ron.
loud.
He bloody splinched me! Ooh, that was a little British, but whatever. Ron bellowed, his wand hand shaking. Draco scoffed. Barely. Has he ever even done said long operation? Honestly, Granger, I thought you'd have him better trained by now. Look! Ron held up his left hand, where 2 fingernails were missing. Both Sirius and Hermione stared at him, incredulously, before Sirius had a chance to scold the boy for whinging over a couple of lost fingernails in the middle of a war. Hermione went into a frenzy, rushing forward and smacking Ron hard in the head, snatching his wand from his grip in the process. Are you mad? She shrieked. That's barely a splinch. Sirius was splinched. I was splinched. Get over yourself and get into that flue right now, Ronald Boyus Weasley. Boom. She pointed to the
Government
fireplace
named
where
him.
she spotted Snape for the first time. Her eyes widened and she raised her own wand. You! Harry shouted, his wand pointing directly accusingly at Snape. His wand pointed accusingly at Snape. Sirius put a hand on Harry's shoulders. Not now. Bigger fish to fry. Better wizards to fight. But, believe me,
Better wizards to
That's
fight. That's
what
such a
it is,
fucking
he said,
insult.
his focus turning to Snape. You and I will have
You know, it does
words."
surprise me how much,
Snape
like,
rolled his eyes and
I think I forget
blue
that
powder on top
the
of
Sirius I like is Dead of Time. It's
I
not
look
from Harry
forward
Potter.
to it. Boom. Chapter 10 done. Chapter 10 is done.
Uh,
Oh, well, bam.
well, bam.
So- okay. Do you want to go pee first, or do you want to tell me what you think?
I'll tell you what I think.
All right. Tell me what you know, what you really, really want.
What time do you have?
For real, what did you think of the chapter?
Well, I think that all of that is crazy and nuts, but like,
Everything was crazy
I
in that.
also feel a tad bit confused, but that's normal. So,
I was just about to say.
but I kind of like have the feeling that I'm not gonna really understand any of this until the very end, because so far I just haven't caught on to what apparently is obvious to everybody else.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, so I'm gonna be late to the party, but at least I got there.
Yeah.
'Cause that is my life.
But that's okay, because we do, like, I feel like the majority of our listeners are listening because they are already fans of the Dead of Time. However, we do have a number
I feel like I
people
keep
who
saying the Dead of
have watched
Time
movies
instead of
before
debt.
and are completely just lost
My
with
diction
music.
was not great early on.
And it is kind of funny because I've had a couple people, they're like, I just need to know what happened. Start recording more. And I'm like, you could just read it. And she's like, no, I'm good. I like the version. I'm like, oh, okay.
And also, you try doing 154 chapters in a short amount of time.
Yeah. Reading them's not bad. Recording them's a nightmare. Not a nightmare. It's fun, but it is tough.
Well,
It is
scheduling
involved.
now that you have a job.
It's not even that I have a job. It's that I wake up at 4:00 in the morning. I let my dog out. I go to work. I leave for work before 6. I'm at work by 7:30, and then I work all day, and then I leave at 4:30, or I try to leave at 4:30. I usually leave at 5. And that means I don't get home until 6:30, depending on traffic. And then I have to go to bed by 9 so that I can wake up and do it all over again.
Yeah.
Which is funny because I then eventually ended up waking up at 4 to leave at 5 to get there at 6, and then would leave at 3.
But
So,
it's worth it. So, like, that episode and how great it was. And, well, not the episode, but the chapter. So,
Hey, the episode was great.
he's
too.
sleep
Why?
growling.
yeah.
It's my favorite. He's a
Now, the
sleepy
real question
boy.
is, okay, so they have the cup, which I don't think has been destroyed yet. So, once they destroy the cup, what other Horcruxes do they have left?
I know about the locket and the cup and the book, and that's it.
So, they had something from every house with the exception of Gryffindor. So, obviously, the diary was the first one, and then the ring, the locket, the cup, and then.
How would I know? I'm a Hufflepuff.
Because you've
That's
seen
a
the
good
movie,
dream.
but they had to go into the room of hidden things, the room of requirement, and get Ravenclaw's
I can't believe he's
diadem.
gonna be 8
Oh.
in December.
Yeah,
He's got
Horcrux
so
and,
much white face
and
now.
then
He's
there's
turning into my
also the
little old
snake,
man.
Nagini.
Yeah.
Yeah, my husband's like,
I had to
can't
see
wait for him
photos
to,
figure
you know,
out
get old and pass away so we don't have dog hair anymore. And I'm like, no.
Better in
Which, like, I get. I'm very,
I felt better
very
about it.
over the
It's so
dog
hard when you
hair.
say it and you're like, that didn't
But
have the right mouthfeel. That was wrong.
he's.
Okay.
It's funny. He was very
Yeah,
much
so
more
there's 3 Horcruxes left.
attached to Jimmy at the beginning.
Now they're about to
This
go
is
on
my
for
baby now.
the die,
He
and-
is
which
my Velcro
means
boy.
That the Battle of Hogwarts is nigh. We're getting close.
Dumbledore's army.
He does love
Yes,
snuggling
no,
with
so
James,
this is
though.
when
They are besties.
Harry goes back to Hogwarts. He's like, "Yo, I need to find something, and I need you guys to kill me some time." And then there's like the big battle of Hogwarts, and then Harry like sacrifices himself and all that kind of shit.
I know it's not much to go on. That's
That-
nothing to go
basically
on.
all of
One
the
of my
movies.
favorite Seamus lines in the entire movie
Yeah, 'cause
series.
if you remember, Malfoy Manor ends, and then Dobby dies at the end of movie 7. So like we're right there at the end of 7. Beginning.
Nope, I don't want to hear about dogs pushing 14. It makes me
Okay,
sad.
well, I'm not as familiar with those movies because
I
for
was
some reason they scare me.
legit heartbroken. My sister lost her cat Kisa
again,
and her dog
watch 'em
Mika
again,
in
watch
the
'em
same
again,
year,
watch 'em
about
again,
6 months
watch 'em
apart,
again,
and
watch
it
'em again,
was
watch 'em again, watch 'em again.
devastating.
You're gonna give me $3.
And her husband was
you,
walking
baby.
around the house going, "This is
That's
why
how
I
much
didn't
it's gonna
want
cost me to
pets,"
rent
just
the
like
movie, 'cause
crying.
it's not on demand. However, actually, I might be able to watch it because next week they're doing a.
Oh, he was
there's
so
one
over
on,
James for a while because
Sci-Fi
James was
because
playing pretty
it-
rough. He was just like,
Nice.
"No, bro, why'd you
Anyway.
bring this kid home? Like, what the fuck?"
There's the end of our episode.
But he still is very much, if there's a pregnant woman,
We'll be on
he
to the
is
next
on them.
countdown to the
And
last
he has
4
called it
episodes of
before
this
they
season.
knew at least one. Womp womp.
Wild.
I was about to say, Cat, I need you to be a little more excited here. Alright. Go
No.
ahead and take a start of the
No,
episode.
no. Immediately no.
Thank you.
Actually, wait. Hold on. Hold on, I need to hop into Patreon because we actually do need to adjust our list of Fox contributors because some of you beautiful people, when you started, you were slightly lower on the donation spectrum, which is fine. Literally any dollar helps, and we are just beyond amazed that people want to contribute to us. It's such an honor. But the other thing we have going on is that some of our people who started out as the lower end actually decided to increase what they gave us, and so went from not having access to certain things to having access to certain things. And
I'm trying to get enough to buy another island.
I am not going to be able to remember their damn names now, which is going to be a major issue. But
The fact that Hannah Beth didn't cut all this. It's okay. We figured out our balance later on.
Beginning to look a lot like Christmas.
yes, I think that
It is an ironic time of year to be listening to this because I think most of these were probably done in like October, November time frame. So
you are things. So, Kat, you want to take us out of the episode?
Oh, can I now?
Yeah, now you can.
Are you sure?
I will say the number one thing she hated most about this podcast was
Okay.
every single time we had to clap because we would record on our
Thank you for
computers
listening to another
and
episode of
then send it all to
Firewhisky.
HB to piece together. But to do that properly, she had to be able to sync them.
So thank you to Shea Alani for allowing me to
And
share your story.
So we had to do like a 1, 2, 3 clap. And she would do like 1, 2, 3. And it was like, oh, okay. So we had her do it. And then she'd be like 1, 2, 3. And I'm like, Jesus Christ. Okay. So she'd do patty cake in a whatever. Patty cake, baker's man. And then she'd be like, fuck the shit, fuck the shit, fuck this shit. And so the three of us would have to do that together so HB could line them up. But that was the only way to get her to like do it in some way that we could follow a pattern. Like, we need to do a supercut of just her bitching about that every goddamn week.
Special thank you to our Fox supporters. These are the people who give us more than $10 or more per month. Carissa Horton, Laura Rivers, Kelsey Molilo, Ren Oliver, Elise Wolfson, Krista Swearingen, Sophie Segatora, Amanda Quick, Jillian Foles.
Eventually, I would start recording this once a month when all the Patreon went through.
Brittany Lopez and
Doing it live was mainly because HB then had to cut it every single week because I would, you know, flip over names. I would like, hold on a sec, I gotta figure out how to pronounce this. But anyway, I do need to take my dog out because he's starting to wake up a little bit, and yeah, I also need to I mean, somebody. Yeah, I need to go grocery shopping because we're officially out of creamer. So, yeah, now it is official. It's no longer an option. I have to.
Katie pledged us $5. Bitch,
5 whole doll hairs.
Dog.
But yeah, no, I'm out of creamer, so I
Loyalist of dogs.
now have no choice but to go to a grocery store. So, I will see you guys all next time. Thank you for joining me for. Oh God, I'm gonna make y'all dizzy. I'm sorry. But anyway, it's good seeing all of you. Love, kisses, hugs.
5 points to.
I will see you probably again maybe this week.
5 points
We will
to
see.
the house.
But thanks for joining once again, and I will see you guys.